Hello, Leo Rising, Virgo Sun. My name is Tanya, owner of this Mystic Road, and we're going to do a year ahead reading covering each of the next 12 months from September to August and see what is coming up for you or may come up for you. If this reading, okay, what do I want to say here? This reading, not all of it may resonate with you, with most of you, but parts of it will. And those are the messages that you need to know for this next year. So keep that in mind as you're watching, and don't try to force things to fit. If it doesn't feel right for you for that month or that particular message that's coming through, that's okay. But another part of this reading may apply to you and may resonate for you. So I highly recommend watching the whole thing and seeing what comes through for you. Some other things to note. With Leo as your rising, that means your sun is most likely, not for everybody, but the majority of you, in the second house, which is the house of money, possessions, values. Essentially kind of your budget, your finances. And with Leo in your first house, a lot of people, you may seem more outgoing than you actually are. You're very forthright, maybe a little bit flashy with your possessions in some ways, or how you look. Your appearance might be different, or something that you take a lot of pride in. You may have great hair too. I mean, if we want to get really stereotypical. You may. Some of you may. I envy that. Let's see. All right, let's see what these next 12 months have to say. What do the cards have to say? What messages are we going to find for Leo Rising, Virgo Sun? So 12 months, 12 cards. This is September, October, November. I'm going to give myself a little more room at the top there to work with. January. Nope, December, January, February. This card in this position has come up a few times for Virgos. It's pretty interesting to me how sometimes they repeat in the same positions, or same cards in different positions, but the same, and yet they all have different messages. I'm sorry. That's February, March, April. I'll try and stay focused. Try. May, June, July, and August. And then a card from the back of the deck gives us an extra point or thing, overall theme that might happen for this year. So I'm going to look at the overall. So a key point or theme for this year is about learning how to master your internal dialogue. This is what I'm getting, the feeling that I'm getting, I guess. The High Priestess card is a major arcana card, and she is typically has to do with communication with the moon, with divine feminine energy, and meditation. So there's inner peace, a sense of inner peace, or achieving that is the goal of achieving that state or that type of energy is the general feel I'm getting over this next year. Let's see what the cards have to say. So we're starting out here in September with the Page of Wands. They're very excited. They're very energetic. But they're very new to this process. So I don't know if there is a new hobby that you're becoming involved with, or even a new relationship, but you're coming at this from like a blank slate. This is a blank slate that you're starting with, but it's exciting. It's something that's active, where there's a lot of movement involved. Maybe you are taking up dance, or some sort of new physical activity that's completely new to you, but you're excited about it. You can't wait to learn more about it, and you're ready to go. So this could be where you're starting off in a dance class or some sort of new exercise program. But you're excited about it. You're ready to go. Yeah. And then we move on to October with the Five of Wands. Fives can be challenges, conflicts, these little, like a test to see if you're really ready to move forward, if you're really ready to push through. I see the Five of Wands as people competing for attention, people competing for that top spot. So this is being willing to fight for your spot, being willing to push past all the noise that everyone else is putting up there and making sure that your ideas are communicated clearly. Because this is something you're really passionate about, something that you really want. So you need to be willing to fight for it. That means putting yourself out there. That means making sure that your voice is heard and not pushing down anybody else's. A lot of people will try to climb out over you. They will try to silence your voice in this. You are responsible for making sure that your own voice is heard in spite of what's going on around you. So October is going to be about pushing through that. This could be something that's a challenge, an unexpected challenge in this new class, this new thing that you're learning. And that you need to be willing to ask questions and get the answers. So don't try to assume you know what the answer is. Don't try to assume that you can figure it out. Make sure you're getting the attention of the instructor or the leaders, and you're getting the routine down correctly. Because doing that, making sure that you get that attention, what you earned, what you deserve, leads now into November with this Judgment card. So being able to push past that kind of, sometimes we get timid, or we can be timid, where we don't want to make a fuss and we'll just try to get along. We'll just try to figure it out on our own. In some cases, you cannot do that. You have to be willing to push and ask and get the answers you need in order to succeed at something and thrive in it. And if you can push past that and get your voice heard and get the attention you need in order to make sure that things are going correctly or that you're following the right procedures in October, in November, some additional benefits of that are this huge confidence that you're going to have in your abilities, in what you're capable of doing, because now you're getting the right things, you're going the right path, and it's just building, and the skills are building, and your confidence is blooming. So this is sort of a leveling up, and it's just that you see yourself succeeding. You can now visualize it, and you can see yourself in that, your end goal. You have a goal here, right? You can see that finish line. You can see yourself there. You are leveling up and getting and surpassing what you thought you were capable of. That's in November. So keep going in this path. If this is an exercise program or a new hobby or whatever it is, you're on the path to success. You just got to push and fight for your position in this, for what you need out of this. And then in December, this is another sign of growth. This is the Eight of Cups. This is you leaving behind the things that no longer serve you, leaving behind the drama that other people try to put on you, letting go of any anger or things that disappointments you may have had along the way, any failures that you had, any emotions and things that would pull you down and prevent you from moving forward. You are leaving those behind because you have the confidence. You know you're capable of pushing further than you thought you could. So you are ready to leave behind those that beliefs, those feelings that have pulled you back and held you back in the past, have pulled you into drama in the past, and you are walking away from that. You are now beyond that. You have matured significantly, and you no longer get drawn into that petty stuff because you know better. So this is you walking away and finding your own path and your own success. And then we come on to January with the Knight of Swords. Swords, about communication, ideas, thoughts. The Knight. So now they have the knowledge. If you want to take it this way, this is, wands are fire, so it's about action. It's a very active thing. So this is a physical activity that you're involved in, especially now we have more wands in the second one. So that physical activity of pushing yourself forward, making sure you're heard, that you're doing things the right way in spite of what's going on around you. And then we come over here, now we have the Knight of Swords. So we're moving from a page of wands where we're learning about something, how to do it, learning the right steps, all that, to the Knight of Swords. And the Knights they're kind of like the college grad, right? So they have the information, they have the book learning. Now they're ready to get the experience at it. So maybe throughout this, what you're learning is that you're good enough to become an instructor in this or a leader in this in some way, where you could start helping others, tutoring others maybe, but helping others reach that same success that you're having, especially in such a short time. So this is you going, you know what? Okay, yes, I'm willing to help teach that Saturday morning class. Why not? I'll give it a shot. So it's gaining that experience, but in a way that involves communication, that involves, it's not emotional attachment, right? The swords don't have anything to do with emotion. So this is a logic-based thing, a communication thing. Maybe you're coming up with some new materials for the class or for yourself in some other endeavor that you want to try for yourself on your own. But it's about gaining the experience, leveraging what you've learned, and now learning how to apply it and actually do the work. And then we come up to the Three of Swords here in February. You might be going on a vacation and celebrating your new body, your new form, your new stamina. Going on a hike. Maybe you're literally going to the beach and going surfing. Maybe on a vacation with a few friends and just having fun. Looking for your next opportunity could also be this too. A lot of times this is referred to, I believe they're waiting for their ship to come in. But for me, this feels a lot like a vacation. And utilizing your newfound coordination, strength, skills. You're ready for adventure. You're ready to go. You're ready to take that next step and find out what else is out there. And that's in February. So it's kind of a laid back, but at the same time exploratory month in February. And then down here we have March with the Eight of Pentacles. Pentacles are about material things. It's an earth element. It can be about work. It can be about home. It's physical things. And the Eight of Pentacles traditionally is about becoming a master of your craft. So you've gone from apprentice, which is kind of what the Knight of Swords feels like, to now becoming master of your class. So maybe now you're taking over the class from the instructor. Maybe now this is becoming how you earn your income, or a side hustle, or something like that, because you're so good at it and you're very good at teaching it, at communicating it. Yeah, and you would not have a problem being in front of a class about being that front man, that person. It could even be that this isn't anything to do with finance or physical activity, although I still get that. I think it is physical activity. It could be something related to finance, accounting, something like that, where you have a particular skill in that. And that's what you're helping people with and teaching people, or you're becoming an expert in that particular application or taxes. This is March. It could be, although I think you probably would have already been in it there. But Eight of Pentacles is about mastering your craft. You are becoming the boss if you're not already the boss. So keep that in mind. The Four of Wands. Again, more of this fire energy. But the Four of Wands is about success. It's a party card. It's a celebration. You have reached your goal. You have reached the pinnacle of success. And this is a celebration. This is the time to go out with friends, to acknowledge how far you've come, and to share that and celebrate those accomplishments with friends and family. This could even be some sort of family event or reunion, or something that, like a yearly event that's coming around again, and you're celebrating with your friends the things that you've learned over this last year. Maybe you even do a little mini session on that vacation with them and come up with some new ideas. But everybody is celebrating your successes, their successes. It's a strong foundation. It's a strong set of friends. It's a fire element again, so it's a very active group. There's a lot of activity. It's an active vacation or an active celebration. I'm getting the words very flowy too. So maybe there's some dance involved, or hula hooping. Hula hooping is in there. Something to do with hoops. Maybe it's a basketball tournament. Could be. But it's something that occurs on a regular basis is what I'm getting. And usually occurs in the spring. So these are people you have not seen since last year, so they don't know that you've been involved in this, but they're very happy for you. They're very proud of your success, and you're able to be very present with them and just have a good time getting caught up on everything. That's going to be April. In May, you have some decisions to make about what you want to do next year, because you may still have your 9-to-5 job. Is it time to make a cutover? Maybe your 9-to-5 becomes your 11-to-3, and this becomes your full-time job. Who knows? But this is a decision you'll need to make, or it may be one of the decisions you need to make. Your options or your decisions, there's going to be 7 things. There may not be exactly 7 things. It could be 3 things. It could be 3 things for this and 4 things for something else. I feel like there's a split there. There's a total of 7 things involved in a decision, in 2 decisions. So this is about using your emotions or your intuition to help you make these 2 decisions in May. For one of those decisions, one of those things, you're going to have 3 options to choose from. For another one, there's going to be 4 options. I feel like one is related to the careers or the career switch, and the other is related to your next steps. Whether you switch career, whatever the other decision is, the next one is what steps you want to take, excuse me, in this new endeavor that you have going on. Even if you decide to keep the 9 to 5 job, then what do you want to do next in this other thing that could help continue to build up so eventually you can switch over or go part-time in the one versus the other, etc., etc. But what steps now can you take in this other one to keep that one going and moving forward? And then we come to June. It could be a hard month. So the Three of Swords is typically a card of heartbreak. What I'm getting though is you can't have your cake and eat it too kind of moment. So it's a card of disappointment. You really, really, really wanted to be able to do all of these things, but you can't. Something had to give, so something does give. So maybe that you lose your job in June, or you get cut back in June, or something happens not in the way that you wanted, not in the way you anticipated, and not in a way you even thought it could happen, but something happens one way or the other where you have to give up the 9 to 5, or you have to give up this new budding career, or you have to seriously cut back on one or the other, or are unexpectedly forced to. And this was not something you wanted to have happen. It was not something you had planned to have happen. And this causes you anxiety and really upsets you, which is reasonable. So don't feel ashamed about being upset about it, but also make sure you process that, acknowledge it, determine the root causes for why you're so upset. Work through it, process it, and then release those things. Learn more about it and about yourself. And that's going to build you up and help you have a stronger foundation and more realistic expectations going forward. So June may be a rough month, is what I'm saying. And then we move on to July with the Queen of Cups here. Now that you've been through that heartache in June and processing it, you're in a much stronger position, much more confident, and much more secure as far as emotions go, because you have more realistic expectations and you have compassion for yourself and for others. But the Queen of Cups is very confident about how she feels. She trusts her intuition. She is in charge, right? She responds. She doesn't react. And she can even help influence by her own emotions and her own actions how others may respond emotionally to her. So she's not coming from this frantic, heartbroken space. She's coming from this, okay, this is where we're at now. She is very present with where things are right now. This is what we can do right now. This is how I feel about that. Acknowledging those feelings, acknowledging those emotions, recognizing them, how to handle them, how to process them, and not letting them overrule or not letting the emotions make the decision, if you will. Trusting the intuition to help inform the decision, but not making the decision from a purely emotional state or highly uncontrolled emotional state. There we go. It's very calm. It might even be that you incorporate swimming or go out to the beach or somehow involve swimming in your process of handling those emotions or processing of them. to help relieve it or release the toll that those emotions can take on our bodies. But somehow with water here, you'll want to interact in some way with water here in July to help you stay in this state, because this is going to help you build up and move forward. And then we come into August, where you are ready for something new. You are ready to plant the seeds for the future. So something occurs to you. You come up with some idea in some way to help make this profitable for you, to help it bring in more income. Again, it's Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. Aces are new things, new steps, that first step, that new idea, inspiration. In this case, they show literally it's a seed that can be planted, right? So you plant, the first step is to plant that seed, and then you will have to take time to let it grow, but you know what seeds you want to plant, right? You have to decide that first. So here in August, you have decided, or you will decide, what direction you want to go and what seeds you want to plant, and you will start taking those steps. You will take those first steps, and you're going to go for it, because you have more confidence in yourself physically from what you've done so far, and emotionally. You're tying together all the parts. And if we add in this meditative piece, now your mind, body, and soul are working together as one, are feeling cohesive, which really, really means that you are ready to take this next step, to trust the process, trust yourself, and that everything will work out, and you're going for it. So this is some big shifts from just trying to start a physical fitness program to going through this whole, not just body, but mind and soul evolution through this year, which totally changes the focus and the direction that you thought your career was going to go, that you thought your life was going to go. But it's something that feeds you and feels like it's more of your destiny and what you're meant to be doing with the rest of your life. So congratulations, and enjoy that journey. And please hit the like button. And if you really enjoyed this, please hit subscribe, or even just to help me support my channel and grow my channel, please hit subscribe. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later.